What is going on? I'm N64 Josh, and EA Play just got over, and a good friend Lady, hello Lady,
hello Josh,
is joining me for a quick conversation about what we just saw, what games are coming to the Switch, what games are not coming to the Switch, and, well, you know, whatever else excited us. I'm recording this live, twitch.tv/N64Josh if you want to catch a live stream sometime. And I've got chat here as well. Got to give a quick shout out to Rust Belt, I Fight Dragons, Broken Pudding, Hidden Level, Becky. Who else do I see? I'm scrolling. Steels and Gaming. Hey, Wheat Bread. There we go. Wait. I know there's a DJ Magster somewhere here. Chat's been moving so quickly. Jay Harley, what's up? So, EA Play. Lady, you were going into this pretty hopeful, right? Pretty excited?
I feel like I do it every year. I go in really hopeful for almost all the conferences, though. I tend to overhype myself, thinking that they're going to give us something like that's going to blow my mind. And I mean, it wasn't horrible. Squadrons probably is going to be a huge seller.
So nothing blew your mind, though.
You know, there wasn't too much that was super great. I mean, I really wanted a new Dragon Age. I really thought they were going to do Mass Effect remake. I really thought that they were going to end with that. I was kind of shocked they didn't. But I also, everybody was telling me that Skate wasn't going to be a thing, and I kind of thought that it was. So, I mean, that was cool. I'm excited for that.
There you go. Yeah, kind of like, well, and who knows? Mass Effect could be a thing, but it could be a like complete remake. For, you know, like HD remaster collection full on, like we just like
I'm
we've
pretty
seen
sure
with
that's what it'll be, yeah.
With BioShock and Borderlands, things like that. But there's also a chance for that trilogy to come to make its way onto the Switch as well. We know there's 5 more games. They made it sound like there were 7 games total making their way to the Switch, and Apex and Burnout are the only 2 we know of. And then there was nothing else. But they started with Apex, and they trolled. They trolled us.
They totally trolled.
They were like, it's coming to Steam. And then of course it's gonna have crossplay. And then it was like, oh yeah. It's also gonna be coming to the Switch in the fall. So I actually was like, I'm genuinely excited for a shooter like this on the Switch. Like, I was talking about it in stream earlier today. I love Overwatch. I mean, Splatoon is fine, but like, the Switch really doesn't have anything that's like a Call of Duty style shooter, and I'm ready. I'm so ready. Now I'm ready for it to run at 22 frames a second.
Well, I mean, it's Apex, so it's kind of got that lower, not lower graphics, but it's not like you're going to try to run PUBG on your Switch, you know?
Right. So. Yeah. Chat's making some pretty funny comments right now. The thing with Apex for me is I was a huge fan of Titanfall. I loved Titanfall. I've pretty much loved everything that Respawn has done. The little bit that I've played Apex, I thought it was great. It's just my problem right now is I don't fire up my Xbox, you know. So to have this game on the platform that I mainly play gets me very excited. Will I play this game handheld? Probably not. Probably not. So will this be a game that you will spend much time with?
Possibly. I do kind of like BRs, but I suck at them, so I don't know. Possibly.
Got it.
It's cool that it's crossplay. Like, I love that, you know, even if you have it on Switch, I should be able to play with you if I still have my character on Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's neat.
Yeah. It's, you know, what's interesting, like, you take a game like Fortnite on the Switch, and they put everybody that plays on the Switch in the mobile servers, and so you can still do the crossplay thing, but you know, playing on Switch with against mouse and keyboard, like not really recommended, you know. But playing on mobile as a Switch player, it's usually like shooting fish in a barrel. So it would be nice if they like. I'm sure there's going to be the options, right? And at least all the options are there. That's what everybody wants. Because if you may have a friend or you know, family member or something that's like the only console they have in their house is the Switch. So at least you'll be able to play. And the other question that I have, and I think it's all gonna work out, is the cross save with your character. If you decide to jump into the Switch and you've been playing Xbox for the last, you know, whatever, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, however long it's been, and are you going to have everything with you? Because I know that's pretty frustrating in some of the other games out there that don't really have this cross save function. You know, even like for Overwatch being one of them, where it's like I have all this stuff on my Xbox. I have like 50 like loot boxes to open or more, and I can't access them on my Switch, and that's kind of frustrating. So
that's kind of crappy that you can't. Yeah, no, that's no fun.
Yeah, it's no good. So but I mean, I was like, there was genuine excitement on my face, and what's happening here? I don't want something else to turn on. We'll keep it muted anyway. So yeah, I was very, very, very excited to see this game make its way over to the Switch. Now, the only other game they mentioned on the Switch was Burnout Paradise, and then after that, they just said 5 other games, and then they went on to show Star Wars Squadrons. They went on to show, you know, the sports games like FIFA and Madden.
Yeah, Command and Conquer,
right? But no mention of any of these sports titles on the Switch, which I think is still surprising a lot of people. And I'm curious I'm curious what the hesitation or what the wait is for the 5 other games that are coming to Switch. Why do you think they only announced just basically Apex and nothing else? Do you think it's because of the push for next gen that it's a little like it's on the forefront of everybody's minds, you know?
Yeah, no, that's a possibility. They could just be like the new IPs that they mentioned. Some of those look like they could be on Switch, but they didn't mention it. Again, that's kind of weird. I definitely thought they were gonna say something about that Rocket game being on Switch. If any of them looked Switch worthy, it was that one.
It really did. It kind of had that almost that Sea of Thieves art style going on a little bit, you know?
Yeah, that rare style.
Yeah, kind of the new Rare style, which I'm not a huge fan of personally. I miss old realistic Rare. Well, realistic from the 64, super realistic.
Banjo and Kazooie was super realistic.
No, GoldenEye and Perfect Dark.
Definitely love that Conquer realism.
That's so yeah. So I mean, we're getting finally EA is dipping their toes in the water, but that again, the Rocket game, it seems like a fit, but again, maybe it's one of those things like it's not the first time that, you know, games end up getting delayed on the Switch, so they just didn't even mention it. They're like, here, it's coming to these other platforms first. You guys are gonna be able to play it on, like, what'd they say, like, was it July 17th or July 14th, something like that, that Rocket game, and then maybe there'll be word of a Switch title later, because it doesn't look like it's a game that couldn't run on the Switch. It didn't seem real graphic, you know, like really graphically intense, and so but
well, they have Apex coming, so maybe they just didn't want to overwhelm us
and
VR battle type games.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. So
yeah,
any, like, I mean, you mentioned Skate a little bit. I mean, who knows if we're going to see it on the Switch or not. They didn't really give any information about it at all, but is it a game you're pretty stoked for? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I loved Skate when I was like a teenager. So I mean, it's definitely going to like throw or give me some nostalgia and stuff. Having it come out new, especially going up against Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, whatever that's coming out, is kind of crazy. But I think it's going to be great. I'm excited for it. Will I pick it up and actually play it nowadays? Probably. Who knows? If anything, I'll play it with the kids.
You know what's kind of crazy is like a handful of these games, they're kind of reminiscent of the way it was like in the, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. Like, to have a Star Wars game come out that's only flying is
that's insane.
It's kind of interesting, right? Like, it's not something I really thought we would see again, yet
yeah,
here we are. And a game like Skate, which is and Tony Hawk, which are, you know, they're just
early 2000s.
Yeah, and they're just extreme sports games. I mean, I think Skate was what was the first Skate? Probably the 360, right? Like 2007 or something like that.
Yeah. Might have, I think it was 360. I think it was right at the beginning of the 360.
The first one, because it seems like they did all three of them were 360, and then after that it went away. So
I mainly played 3 or 2. 2 was 2.
And I mean, they were fun games. I didn't spend a lot of time. I know my little brother was very, very into it, and he loved like trying to climb up into areas you weren't supposed to be able to get to, and then just jump off and see how many bones he could break. You know, doing stuff like that in those games, which was hilarious. And so, it just was a totally different, really different feel and different flavor than Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk was more like an arcade style skate game, and Skate is more of a simulation. And so
it was definitely more like realistic, or whatever you would say. Erd in chat kind of had something going there. He's kind of onto something. Maybe he said the Mass Effect trilogy remake kind of thing might be coming to Switch, and since that hasn't actually been announced, I can see that being a game. That they didn't say, but I can definitely see that.
There's quite a few games, like even Dragon Age, like you were hoping to see. They could grab some of those Dragon Age games from the 360 and bring them over. Not that I want to see only, right? Exactly. And it's not that I only want to see these older games make their way to the Switch. But if there's games that, Dragon Age is a series I've never touched. I think I have a handful of them, but I've never played them, and so, you know, they're vast and large RPGs that I'm sure some people would love to either even jump back into, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and chats keeps saying racing games. Yeah, the Need for Speed games could make their way over to the Switch, and so
I guess Switch is kind of lacking on racing games, huh? They've got
has Mario Kart? What else do you need?
What else is there?
What else do you need? No, there's a handful of Switch racing games, but nothing that's really you know, super great. So it does have CTR, which is good, and it's gonna have Burnout tomorrow. So, you know, it's the price tag of Burnout is what is it has a lot of people just kind of leery, because it's $50 for this.
Oh wow!
This
for Burnout. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why people are a little bit like just kind of wondering what you know, what are EA's plans? Everything's been like really just very timid, very, very safe, you know, putting out very weak versions of FIFA that were just not good, missing a ton of features.
Anthem.
Well, then of course you have Anthem, which just didn't do very well at all, and so people are leery. But you can see, like, I don't know, I feel like part of the vibe for that whole EA Play thing is that you could see that they're trying to make it a point that they're listening, and they know who they're making their games for, and that they want to make games that the community is going to enjoy.
And you have
So
to wonder if that would be their full showcase if it was actually E3. You know, do they have more coming out? This is kind of a year of digital showcases. So, you know, we can say that's kind of what's going to happen. So, like Microsoft, they basically split theirs into two. We have another one coming next month. We had one last month. Who knows if we're going to see something from EA again by the end of the year? So,
I think we will.
Wow.
I think with the with everybody having to be at home, and again we saw people saying like, are these people CG? Like, no, this is just, that's the editing work that takes place trying to make the cameras that they're using not look like complete garbage, but it ends up softening up the skin a little bit and making people look like they're CGI. So but yeah, I mean they kind of teased it. They were like, hey, you know, here's there's 5 more games coming out for the Switch. I mean, they didn't, and you know, we're kind of sitting here talking about like, what did they show on the Switch? What didn't they show on the Switch? And then they moved on to next gen. Like, they didn't show, as far as sports goes, they showed, I don't think, did they show anything that had to do with Madden or FIFA on the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4? Like, it was like, hey, here's what the next gen can do.
It was like the shortest sports section I've ever seen in an EA showcase ever. Because usually I'm like, all right, time to go pee. It's the sports section. I'm out of the room. But it came and went really quickly. So overall, I give the showcase like maybe a 5 out of 10. It didn't blow my mind. There wasn't anything super great. I was really expecting to see some Crysis 4 information because it's been in the talks for a while now, and there was nothing there. Nothing on this. They, you know, the leak or whatever, the talk with one of the people there, they said that there's going to be a remaster coming out. They didn't say which one, so everybody's assuming or thinking it's Mass Effect, but who knows? It could be Dead Space. But they didn't talk about that either. So I just think there's so much stuff still left in the air that I kind of thought was going to be addressed today that wasn't.
Yeah, and I think the thing that's missing for me that I would really, really love to see from EA is the kind of relationship that Nintendo and Ubisoft have, where we saw Mario plus Rabbids come out, where, you know, Ubisoft basically took control of the Mario IP and made a game specifically for the Switch. It was solid. It was very solid. And, you know, I don't know what that would look like necessarily with EA, but just to see them. And I think my gut feeling is as the generation gap becomes greater with the new systems and PCs, and then with the Switch being where it is, I'm foreseeing less of these games coming out day and date, because it's not even really happening anyway when you look at like stuff like Doom Eternal not coming out on the Switch yet. I feel like
Animal Crossing by EA. I'm sorry, that was hilarious.
The thing I see, but something similar to that, right? Where it's like maybe some of the Dragon Age team gets a hold of some Zelda IP and they make a game.
That would be great.
Make a game like
Mario
that.
Madden.
Well, I was thinking Strikers, but then I'm like, no, Strikers was so good. I don't want anything. Don't let. I can't remember who made the Strikers, but like, let's give it back to them, especially the GameCube one. So, but
Mario needs a hockey game. Let's be real.
Well, you know, he says Star Wars featuring Samus, but the Dead Space team doing a very creepy Metroid style game, you know, like I'd be all about it. Like, really give it that
mashups could be fun.
Give it that kind of alien vibe, you know, and make it a little darker, and I mean, maybe even make it a more mature, right? And see what happens. I mean, with an IP like Metroid, you know, there's not going to be a lot of younger kids that are going to be playing that anyway, so like it might be kind of cool to see Nintendo. It doesn't have to be M rated, it could be T or whatever, but I mean but even something a little on the like a little scary, a little creepy. I don't know. I'd enjoy it. So overall for me, I mean, as a Nintendo fan, I would definitely give it like a 5. Overall, probably like a 6 or 7, just because I'm a huge Star Wars fan and I'm a huge fan of games that are dogfighting, like Crimson Skies back in the day.
I can see that. Not my jam, but
yeah. Right. And so if it's not for you, chat keeps going on about
either.
No,
I just keep thinking about all these things we didn't get. I'm like, wait, hold on. I had this whole list, and now I'm like thinking, no, wasn't there no Battlefront? I mean, I guess this is basically kind of like a Battlefront spinoff.
Yeah, and even the older Battlefronts, which were, I mean, they're still supported on Steam. They could find their home on the Switch, you know, bring them over.
Easy too, but I feel like
it seems like it would be. But well, lady, tell everybody where they can find you, and we'll wrap this up.
You can find me on Twitter at lady_AF_. And that's about it. And Twitch, I guess you can find me at lady_AF. And I don't stream much. Maybe one day. Josh keeps pushing me to do it. So
I will. Yeah, she's gonna do it. And do you have like a podcast or something too that you do sometimes?
I do. I have a podcast. It's called The Enable Sisters. We haven't recorded in a minute. It's Animal Crossing. She gets mad at me when I add the S, and I always do it, and I don't know why.
Like we're on the internets right now.
Yeah, we're on the internet.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we do that. You can find it on Gamer Loop Radio's stream there. We're thinking about starting something else back up. We were doing a podcast called Boozy News for a while, and we're thinking that we might kind of do that again. So,
this chat just said you and Crawler have the same stream schedule. That's just I'm gonna stream eventually. That's the
one day.
I love it. All right, guys, you can find me everywhere at N64Josh. Let me know in the comments what you thought of EA Play Live, and yeah, I'd love to hear from you. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye now.
Awesome.